Right, I'm live. Well, what's inspired this? I was on YouTube, and I don't know if this is a recent thing or what, and hopefully somebody can help me with it. But all I get is when I'm watching videos, they're interrupted by advertisement. 3 second advert, and then you can skip the advert. So you don't get to listen to it. You're not forced to listen to the advert. They just give you the intro to the advert, and then you give the option of skipping it. And it seems like a new thing to me. I can remember. And it's interesting because you get ad blockers and things like this on YouTube. And it's just so, for me, it's irritating. It is irritating. And it's only going to get worse because the gap between there was 3 seconds and then you could skip the ads. Now it's 5 seconds. Study the book before I took the steps. And that just shattered me, just blew. God, I waited long enough for him. And I now realise that he didn't want to do it. Yeah, this man who'd taken me through the programme and probably didn't want to do it and tried to put me off. But I just hung about what it was like for me and how he was treating me. And I was wrong. They really don't have much knowledge of actually what's in the book. You know, you go to a meeting and they read out chapter 5 or whatever, and that's it. Then they don't talk about it afterwards. They talk about their drinking. The little cabaret acts, which I was always offended by them. I never found any of it funny. No, at all. And I started fighting back and answering back. Yeah, keep coming back. Yeah, don't worry. And just don't pick up the first drink. All right. No. If it was that easy, I wouldn't be here. You fool. Listen to yourself. And nobody in London done more meetings than I did. And there were very few people. People don't make it because of that. There are many of them, by the way. And this moron told her that she had to go and make amends. What did she do? She relapsed and went back drinking again. Hardly surprising. And then when she told me about it, I said, but it begs the question, how did they do it? And every question is answered in the first 100. Put myself through that. That's how shocking it is. They don't learn that. And that's just tragic. In Luton, all right until I come up against this. Wow. I mean, it's been a doddle for me because I've got this program and I've changed my way of thinking. And I know how to challenge thinking. My little. And walk me through steps 4 to 9, 2 days as it's to this meeting every week because they read out the promises. I didn't really know where they were and what book they were reading, but they read the promise. Difficult about it. Nothing difficult about it. If you're finding it difficult, it's probably because you're reading it wrong, or somebody's giving you the wrong ideas. And don't read anything but the big book. And every step begs. Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah, you said that. Underline. They made a decision. Do you want to follow their path? Do you want to follow their? Do you want to go by their decision? And there's a horrible wee person, wee guy called Laurie, one of the sick, one of the people who are part of the dry rot that's in the AA, and he's 30 odd years sober. He's a man of words, and he's always cross sharing, as they say. Still not too sure what that means. But it's obvious he's criticising anything I've said. And I went to this meeting one night and I talked about the Book of Instructions. And he interrupted. Rude, ignorant here. And he says, it's a book of suggestions. Oh, is that right, Larry? So I really wasn't in the mood for any mind games or brain exercise. And that was fine. That was fine. If somebody was there, you always have to assume somebody's there and they're on their last legs, whether they're a newcomer or whether they've been in the A for years. Yeah. One guy said to me, Alice, I heard you 6 months ago, and what you said changed everything. I was ready to get back out drinking again. And what you said, he doesn't promote them. They promote the man on page 18. That's the only thing that's important. And he said, thank you. There's another wee guy up that further north, up the A1 as well. He came up to me. Really helps. It really helped. And that's magical to hear that. Magical. Few and far between, but there you go. So where was I before I so rudely interrupted myself? I'm good at that. Yeah, you make it. Oh, there he goes with 2 days. Yeah, the wee Jimmy, the wee Scottish brat from. I can never remember the name of that place. You know, it's either a K or a Letchworth. Is it Letchworth? It's either K. I think it's Letchworth. Yeah, he comes from up there. Oh, there he goes again. Yeah, the express train to heaven. You know, microwave recovery. Just read the book, you little prat. Really quite humorous. We launch out in a course of vigorous action. Next, we launched out in a course of vigorous action. This is when they start telling you what to do. Up to that point, they've not told you what to do. A moral inventory. Looking for the truth about myself. And I followed the instructions. You know, 5 lines. My sister. Da da da. And that's pretty straightforward. I had 90 names. 90 odd names. And it really didn't take that long. Out of it because I thought. So that's it. That's my list of resentments. I then write down the cause within the 5 lines. So just little bullet words, reminders. And fine. And then I do like this about step 4. And it's very powerful, very logical. Therefore, we started upon a personal inventory. This was step 4. A business which takes no regular inventory usually goes broke. Taking a commercial inventory is a fact-finding and fact-facing process. There you go. If I don't take inventory, my business goes bust. My life goes bust. That really jumped out to me. Yeah, I'm 40 years of age with the mind of a child, but some of this stuff has jumped out to me. And wow. And it's inspirational. See, this is the thing. It keeps me going. It keeps me going. And I don't have to read it. You can read it yourself. You know, I won't spoil it for you. And then to give you an example of what I resent for that, the cause, Mr. Brown, the cause, he has attention to my wife, sex relations, self-esteem, security, personal relations, and well, it's all there. Couldn't make it any simpler. As long as you do the columns one at a time and don't get screwed up in it. Wait to the end of it, talk to the man, and then he pointed certain things out to me. And he pointed out to me about my rationalisation and justification. Oh gosh, that sounds posh. Which is basically making excuses for myself. It just jumped out to me when I took the pen and put it in paper. It jumped out. I saw myself. You know, I wrote down resentments against guys, and for the first time I saw myself in it. I was looking down on the situation, and I was seeing it from an entirely different point of view, to see just how boring you were, and how childlike you were, how rude in a childlike way, and how people just couldn't be bothered with you. Just it's a waste of time, man. And some people get angry, very rarely. They kind of tolerate it because I was good at football, mainly. And I was okay when I was sober, but it's when I get drunk, you know. I was always the last one there after the football. They all went in for a few drinks, and then they went home to their wives and whatever, and had dinner, and just sat and watched the telly. Yeah, I used to watch that like an American thing, Dallas. You liked a drink, but that's a powerful, powerful statement. God give me the gift to see myself the way that other people see me. Very few people have that gift. Very, very few people drunk or sober alcoholics have got. They very rarely do they have that ability. And here they are giving us that ability. I'm seeing that's me. And it was a shock, but it was also a great relief that it's there. That's it. That's how it happened. And it wasn't, who's responsible for what? Yeah, this is what it told me. Yeah, no, you're not responsible for that, John. I thought a lot of stuff I felt I was responsible for. And it's just so simple. See how your thinking developed over the years of poverty and abuse from your mother and low self. But then when I get drunk, there was a different matter. Thankfully, that was rare. But I didn't get myself into a bit of trouble. Thankfully, I had my cousin Pat, God rest him. I didn't realise it. And I irritated him. He was quite mature. He was certainly more mature than me. Yeah. And, and he took me down to the football, the semi-professional football. And a problem to him, he just never showed any irritation whatsoever. And I must have done lots of things and said things that kind of irritated him. He was almost like a father figure. He was younger than me. He was 6 months younger than me. And he's dead now. Died in an accident. And that's really very sad. Because I'd like to see him. I'd like to. He would know. I'm getting quite emotional here. I'm getting distracted here again. Talking about Pat, talking about how step 4 opened things up. Tyler just blew me away. In your face it was, But it just developed over the years. And I didn't have this understanding at the time. As I say, it's developed. I was a child. But I knew the feeling. The feeling was, wow. So there you go. I don't use that word. That reminds me of a rather famous boxer, world champion. Cross swords with him. Got a wee bit offended. Call it what you will. It's the truth. Talk complete rubbish. See, it's easy to figure people who talk rubbish with this program because it's so simple. Yeah. It doesn't say that in a big book. So you're talking rubbish. We're here to talk about the book with clear-cut precise instructions. We don't need you. Just follow the clear-cut precise instructions. What is your problem? No, we don't need your version of step 4. If you've got a different version of these steps, do as all and go and start up your own meetings. Excuse the language, but I do get upset. I remember the man saying that to me. I was in the rooms, and I was sharing it. I let out share. Blah, 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 blah. I loved the attention, but I wasn't getting attention. I thought I was getting attention, just born of tears, and I would be banging on until I came to until the honeymoon period ended, which was quite quick for me for the number of meetings I'd done. And then I started getting angry, started to frighten people. Oh, you said that. You used to really frighten me. That was after I'd gone through the step model. From the late 60s, early 70s. She was beautiful even then. She used to wave to me and it was really nice. She said, you used to frighten me. What? I was so angry, but I didn't realise that I was projecting that. I didn't realise it. But when they saw the change, you used to frighten me, she said. And now you've changed so much and well done. And that was just wonderful. That was wonderful. I could have fallen in love with that woman. I hope she's doing well. And nice memories. Brought about by the change. People saw me. Big Scottish bloke. Never seen anybody who wanted this as much as you. Oh, right. Okay. Take your word for it. I didn't know. I didn't know what was projected. But there you go. No, I enjoyed listening to him and I remember people slagging him off. these God fucking people, these God botherers, big, and all that stuff. And I was always troubled by that. And then he come up to me, He said, I'd never seen anybody who wanted this as much as you. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. That was 25 years ago. I still remember it. Powerful stuff. Anyway, I've learned so much about life and people. Because it's not just alcoholics who are spiritually sick. Virtually everybody on the planet is spiritually sick. That's why they can't talk to people like me. Because they don't like it. It makes them feel uncomfortable. The family secrets and all that stuff. And nobody talks about it. So I can't have a conversation with anybody. Because it includes that. There's the odd person I have a conversation with, but rare. Rare. I love that one. It's a good book as well. It's a good book. That changed my whole attitude towards life. And there'll be very few like it. Just sticking to the clear-cut sense instructions and all of these topics that we can discuss at meetings without getting into all the other rubbish and fucking boring crap. How many people have walked years ago? So how bad has it got since then? I get banned from a meeting. Where do the feelings come from? The thinking. So let's talk about a thinking meeting. Let's talk about thinking. Then we can work it out. And sponsors spit on them. And they didn't like it. So they phoned the cops. Phoned the cops. It's just astonishing. I got a phone, isn't it? Just astonishing. Whoever made that phone call, seriously sick person. And I know who it is. And he claims to be a long time sober. But he's the one who done it. That's not sobriety. Whoa. That should never happen at an AA meeting. Whoa. See me understand. That's all to do with your thinking. And that's where the big focus is on. That's where the problem lies. In the thinking. You sort out your thinking, then you sort out the feelings. You complete and utter nutters. I was involved in. Right, if we can answer all this stuff, so the questions of step 4 and 5, and are we satisfied with what we've done? Because we've returned home. Go back to page 75 and reviewing what we have done. Yeah, good advice, isn't it? And then we move on. Page 76. If we can answer to our satisfaction that the work I've done is okay, sand and cement and bricks and mortar and building an arch through which I will walk a free character. Fantastic. Grant me strength as I go out from here to do your bidding, amen. We have then completed step 7. That was their prayer. Camden Town, a day convention thing. I'm not mind Tom, he's a cracker. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He just heard, I think he must have heard the recording or something, just memorised it. And there was another guy as well, and they're all right to the point, and I've got God behind me, I'm a soldier of God, that kind of stuff. And I talked to a young guy at the break, and he came from up Lincolnshire, where I used to live up there. His life. That might have saved his life. I know. But it was the truth, and it was accurate. And he deserves that. And you've already made it a fact. And joined up with step 9, going out to make amends, and discussing it with I hate that word sponsor. I hate the word sponsor. It's shocking. And you work it out through the list that you've got and who you're going to go and make amends to and how you're going to do it. And that can take years. And some of them, it's just not possible. That's okay, because basically it's all about willingness. Yeah. And that's quite interesting how it made amends to some people. Some people were well impressed. Make friends with you, I was just there to point out how wrong I was in that situation. And quite a lot of them don't understand what it's about, and that's okay. So it was a very interesting experience, main events. And yeah, you see, that's it. That's it done. To all intents and purposes, you've recovered. Oh, that's nice. Uh, as long as you maintain your spiritual condition. Ah, how do you do that? You practice steps 10 and 11, and that's interesting. I know I look as though I'm miles away, but I need to rest my back. The sacrifices I make for this program. And so that's all I do. I practice 10 and 11. Yeah. I've got these people who practice these steps every day. All of the steps. But they've just reversing, which is perfectly fine. But don't come into you're dead right. That's a very responsible position to take. I don't share because I don't know anything about it. And I think I probably pointed out some of the rubbish people were talking. Now, you're always complaining about it. You're always more. They only have a pop at me because they don't have the guts to do it. They don't have the guts to do it. It's a matter of principle. It's all in there. That's it. Simple program. Yeah. Did the 12 and 12 take the place of the big book? Well, actually, they did. Should have done. But when it comes to meditation, that's what they're talking about. To think deeply about stuff and take advice or even and become practiced in it till it becomes intuitive. As it is for me. These kids. Do not do it to the kids. Die. The usual stuff. This is the way it is for all sorts of people. It's only when the person dies that it's, you know, I can't remember what they're called. They all feed me all the time. Yeah, you up front. Yep. Yeah, it's funny how things work out. And nice memories, you see, of them. And then sheet of them. Yeah. I'm not sure that she left me that she hooked up with each other. And she blew the money anyway. So, you know, you know. Got a bit on the road where it goes down a dip and then it rises up, which is just like the Belgium Spa, Eau Rouge it's called, where they dip down and then they show up. And it's phenomenal. This is sitting outside the internet. And there's one guy who does it, he's on a stage, so it seems very professional. And I remember listening to him, something about the simple program or something like that. I remember listening to him and thinking, but you're talking completely utter rubbish as well. It's all very affected as well, it's a performance, maybe I could change, maybe whatever. Maybe you could change. That's it. Communication.